We turn now to some specific local strategic projects from various places around the country. We begin in Jacksonville, Florida. We have a team of two persons to present this. Ginny Myrick builds on a decades-long record of success in economic development, urban renewal, and government relations to serve as president and CEO of the Cathedral District, Jacksonville. She leverages her experience and devotion as community advocate to spur the revitalization of the 36-block historic Cathedral District, home to 5 historic churches, several architectural landmarks, and a plethora of vacant lots and surface parking in downtown Jax. Kate Moorehead Carroll is the longtime dean of St. John's Cathedral Episcopal, which stands at the heart of the Cathedral District. I'll turn it over to the two of you to present this project.
Thank you, Tom. Our paper talks at first about what happened to downtowns all across the United States. What happened in Jacksonville is not unique to Jacksonville, and the history behind what caused it. But it leads us into what happened with us when the dean said to me she had a vision that she believed that the neighborhood could be vibrant again. She didn't understand why it wasn't. And we started to delve into that together. We set out by engaging the Urban Land Institute, ULI, and we did a thing called a TAP, a Technical Assistance Panel, which looked at first when I showed them the map of what I wanted them to look at, which was about 3 or 4 blocks around the cathedral. And the first thing they said, the first lesson that we learned, was you can't look at just that. You have to look at the whole neighborhood. And that's the premise for our thesis. Unless you look at the whole neighborhood, you cannot help turn these churches around. So the whole neighborhood in our case was 118 acres. And what we found out was that 50% of it was surface parking lots. So we had a big challenge in front of us. But the most advantageous thing we discovered was that we have 5 historic churches and 4 other historic landmark buildings all in this neighborhood. So this enormous asset was not being used at all. So what we discovered by working with the 5 churches and with the city government, in many instances, these churches have what we consider to be, they've just lost their DNA. They don't know where they are in a larger perspective. Why are their populations diminishing? Why are there so few people sitting in the pews? So what we did in a matter of a little over 5 years was bring, I would call life back into the neighborhood. So in the 5 years that we've been in existence, we now have 600 apartments under construction or in financing and $42 million worth of capital investment in the neighborhood. This has been a great lesson for us, how it happened. We write about it in the paper. But one of the lessons that we've learned, I'd like to share with Dean Kate to talk about. One of the things we know is that the homeless population is a great problem. Number 2 is that government, local government, holds all of the reins of development. They have to be your partner. You can't do it alone. There are unwilling sellers in the district, and they're unwilling because they're disassociated from what's happening downtown. They may not live here. They may not live anyplace close to downtown. And then I think the bigger thing is what Kate can talk best about, and that is the differences of the church governance. So I'm going to do the toss to Kate.
As Ginny mentioned, we have 5 historic churches in the Cathedral District and 5 different denominations. And one of the things we've learned is many of our churches across the nation are not yet dead. They have small congregations that are holding on for dear life. They're frightened. But most people don't know how to help them because we don't know how to navigate their very different denominational structures. Where does the authority lie? How can you build trust? How can you reassure them that you're not interested in taking them over or simply buying them? I think we do see, and as the Partners for Sacred Spaces so accurately put it, we see great value in the functioning of a church, and it would be very beneficial for the community to help these congregations worship on their property, but perhaps in smaller spaces, and then harness the rest of their property for wonderful community use. But how do you do that when your congregation is small? So what we've learned is a lot about the different denominational structures, how to move within them and build trust, and how to establish a nonprofit that can do consulting and empowering of those religious communities that really want to survive and thrive, but know that they're going to need to do it in partnership with other organizations in their neighborhood. So we've had some amazing success in the Cathedral District, and our journey is to journey forward now and to try to help other neighborhoods to do the development that we've been able to do. Thank you.